From the 1011 Now Alert Center,
This is the Night Beat.
sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Good evening and thank you for joining me. I'm Jessica Blum with your headlines for Thursday, January 22nd. First, Lincoln Public Schools announcing just hours ago that there will be no school Friday, January 23rd due to the dangerous cold. Our 1011 severe weather team is forecasting wind chills as cold as 20 to 25 below Friday morning here in Lincoln. LPS posting on X that all LPS buildings are closed to outside reservations, while some high school events and practices may proceed as scheduled. You can see the full list of closings up on our website under the Weather tab. And the Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department also releasing their word of warning ahead of tomorrow's bitter cold snap.
Worst case scenario, sometimes it's where people could lose, tips of their fingers, toes, that type of a thing.
The Lincoln-Lancaster County Health Department is urging caution during the upcoming extreme cold. They say with wind chills below zero, it's important for the community to stay warm.
We really encourage people to stay home if they can. It's good to stay just inside, especially when the weather elements are out there with the wind and the snow and the very bitter cold temperatures.
The health department also encourages everyone to bundle up and leave as little bare skin showing as possible to avoid frostbite. They say with temperatures and wind chills like this, frostbite can happen very quickly, and it could potentially lead to loss of fingertips and toes. If you need additional heat, make sure to not use propane heating elements inside and keep space heaters away from any flammable material. If you're looking for a warm place to stay during this cold snap, all Lincoln City libraries will be open as warming centers from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday through the weekend. Lincoln Parks and Rec Centers and Aging Partners Senior Center will also open their doors. If you live in Butler or Platte counties, be on the lookout for flooding over the next couple days. Platte County's emergency management team helped in issuing a flood advisory just east of Columbus. The National Weather Service shared these photos showing an ice jam moving down the Loop River. Officials say the flood advisory will stay in place until further notice. If you see road underwater, remember, turn around so you do not drown. We have details in the case of a Hastings man charged after a 15-month-old was found in a ditch in rural Adams County. 31-year-old Austin Hendrick has been charged with one count of felony child abuse without injury. An Adams County judge set his bond at $15,000. This comes as deputies were called to the rural road after an infant was found in a ditch by a concerned citizen. The child was taken to a local hospital for treatment. Hendrick is due back in court next Friday. In Douglas County, we are learning that Omaha spree killer Nico Jenkins was denied relief after filings were submitted in 2020 over 7 different contentions. This ends Jenkins' request for funds for a mental evaluation. He made this request about 4 months ago. Douglas County's attorney called the decision a step in the right direction, adding that the state will now close that door in the case. Tuesday's ruling brings an end to the latest chapter of a lengthy legal battle. Jenkins murdered 4 people in 2013 and was later given the death penalty. Well, new tonight, the ADM flour mill here in the capital city that has been in service for over a century, now announcing they're shutting down operations. According to an industry publication, WorldGrain.com, the closure was announced last Wednesday. Of the 65 employees at the facility, about 30 are expected to be affected by the closing. The company currently has flour mills in nearby states like Minnesota, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Illinois. The company also announced that non-milling operations at the plant, including flour packaging and the production of other products, will not be affected by the mill closing. We are continuing our coverage tonight on an ongoing battle between the University of Nebraska Board of Regents and its push to purchase Clarkson Regional Health Services. The Regents have now placed the Board of Directors at Nebraska Medicine as the deal comes under scrutiny. In a statement this morning, the Regents say they had installed an interim board as a response to a lawsuit filed by Nebraska Medicine's board against its owners. This is all under investigation by Attorney General Mike Hilgers. The Regents and Clarkson announced the deal earlier this month with a targeted closing date in late June. The board plans to pay Clarkson $800 million for the deal. Now to Husker hoops, the men's basketball team appears to have dodged a bullet. According to CBS Sports' John Rothstein, freshman standout Braden Frager only suffered a strained ankle during last night's game against Washington. Frager exited the game early on after coming down awkwardly on a layup. He returned to the bench for the rest of the game in a boot. Rothstein reported that Frager is considered day-to-day moving forward. His status for Nebraska's road contest against Minnesota on Saturday is still up in the air. Frager is averaging just over 12 points per game coming off the bench for Nebraska. Finally, tonight, and rounding out your night beat, is a check of the 7-day forecast. There are 2 weather alert days that we have issued for Friday and Saturday due to the dangerous cold. That being said, there will be the chance for accumulating snow in the capital city and over much of the state Friday into early Saturday. That will impact temperatures beyond Friday and Saturday, so as you look at highs in the single digits Friday and Saturday, wind chills for most of those days will be well below zero. So take it easy. It will be dangerous to be outside for any prolonged period of time. A high on Sunday will still be miserable, and we have not yet seen it this season. Any low temperatures below zero, we may do that 4 consecutive mornings in a row into early next week before rebounding to the 20s and still below average through much of next week with temperatures falling toward Thursday.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.